Hey guys, Fly Mackey here with the Fly Mackey Show here in the world. Well, I'm going to start driving, so you can hear a lot of noise. Okay, but anyway, we had something go wrong with one of our streams, and we were getting thousands of viewers, and now we're getting like a few. It's okay. We're not mad at anybody. Let's just see if we can get this right. All right, so you're going to hear a lot of noise here in a second because we're going to start streaming or start driving. And when this happens, you're going to hear a ton of noise. But it is what it is. All right. It says we're live. I can't see. I can't see very good. I have old man syndrome now, where when I when I go to see, I'm going to see about getting contacts because when I go to see, I had to focus with these glasses because they're readers as well as driving glasses, and um, yeah, but I still had to focus. I want to hear what I sound like on while it's driving. I'm driving in my old van. So those of you who know me, I usually drive an Expedition or a Denali or something like that. And uh, we don't do any advertising here, but like set up saying, "Hey, Fly Mackey show is going to be live." I'm just going on live now. We're fixing to. All right, here comes the rain. I love it. All right, I heard you. Hold on one second here. No. Yep, there comes the rain. All right, it's got a little bit of a delay. Yeah, I got that old man syndrome where you just kind of you're looking at stuff with your mouth open. I got teeth. All right, it's got a little bit of a delay. Yeah, I got that old man syndrome where you just kind of you're looking at stuff with your mouth open. Let's start driving. I got teeth. So talking to station owners all the time. Oh, always talking to people. I talked to a couple of station owners today about scaling our business, and uh, we're talking to somebody, a bigger network, uh, about going on to another 100 channels. And so yeah, things are crazy, and you know the TV business is an amazing business to be in, but you have to do something for a living. You know what I mean? You're going to hear a lot of noise when a lot of. I did a video the other day, and a couple of the people where I'm streaming who have audiences didn't like it, so I took them off. I stopped streaming there, but I can tell you that I like things to be raw, unedited, the way I like to do TV. Uh, and people think you have to have it perfect. Okay, the lights are out, so this is going to be a bitch driving. Not in the once you hit the part of the cities where you have to go through the where you have to go through the lights. Then it's a four-way stop. But you know, it's uh, so it's a lot of fun scaling and doing business and spending tons of money and being in debt. You have to be when you go into business. There's no such thing as paying all your bills and being on the profit side all the time. Impossible. Unless you're loaded with unless you're front loaded with lots of cash and with tons of credit too, where your credit's so high or you have so much of it that the amount you're using doesn't really dent you. And then you know how to use velocity banking, which I'll talk about later. But once again, yeah, lots of noise. Had the AC on. What does that say? Somebody was sending me a message. I want to see what he sent me. But once again, yeah, lots of noise. Somebody was sending me a message. I want to see that. I want to see what he sent me. And um, did we go back on? I killed the stream. There you go. We're back. All right. So yeah, it's just a lot of fun doing business, but you have to get used to being in debt, lots of debt, and yeah, if it goes bad, you fucking owe some bunch of money. That's the way it works. Like you 5% of America. That's it. 5% are independent contractors or in business for themselves. That's it. You got people who call themselves business owner, but they just have a job. They're not. They don't have a business structure and business bank accounts. They're out doing work in the name of business, but doesn't mean they are a business. And they haven't put in like us, who put in hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars of our own money and other people's money to build a business. Yeah, it's going to get really loud here in a second, and I'm gonna, but I want to go through it, and then normally, like when you're in, when I'm in the expedition, you can't hear. I'm going to turn this. Yeah, no. All right, it's raining pretty good over here, but you have, yeah, it's a lot of noise. But I want to hear what it sounds like after we stop, and we're going to do some editing. But you have to get used to being in debt. Period. You have to. If you're, hold on, I'm going to turn the noise up over here on this other monitor. But I want to hear There's literally nobody on the freeway. There's literally nobody on the freeway. All right. I hear out sounds. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. I'm turning that down. And then I'm going to go over here to this monitor. I don't have anybody with me. Nobody with me. I'm driving by myself. I got the dogs at the house. And they wanted to come in the worst way. I mean, they were just like to come. And then I had to get some new windshield wipers. These work, but during the NFL, if you know what that means not for long. All right, Lord, take care of us now. We got a lot of rain here. On the other side of town where we're going, it doesn't look like any rain, but we're probably going to get some. And the traffic's slowing down. So yeah, it's really coming down. Okay, so you have to be used to getting in debt. If you're not comfortable with being in debt and struggling and coming up with game plans to make things work, and if you're not solution oriented, you're gonna hate business. That's a guarantee. You're gonna hate business. On the other hand, too, you endless days of sleeplessness and you still have to go to events, and you still have to get up and work. Maybe you have some side gigs. Don't be afraid to take side gigs when you're in business. People all the time like, I thought you owned a business. Yeah, I'm doing my business. And it would help if you would do business with me. You can ask all your friends and family to do business with you. And if they don't want to do business with you, then they're not your friends. They're not your friends. You can't pick your family. But I don't hang around my family. I love them, but I don't want to hang around them. And it's not anything that they're bad or anything like that, but they have different ideas how they want to live their life. And I ain't part of it. I don't want to buy into that. I'm not buying into the 9 to 5 struggle, being in debt, making my kids fat. My kids did not grow up fat, but they're all fat now. I'm fat too. But once I got tired of it, I said, no, that's it. Let's go. They did a really good job of raising their kids, though. I can tell you that. Way, way better parents than I ever could have dreamed of being. That I got to give to them. But so I probably better talk about this a little bit more, okay? The reason I don't hang, because I spent the majority of my life poor, uneducated, and in the same geographical location for decades and decades, not going anywhere, literally not going anywhere, but in the same, 20-mile radius, maybe 50-mile radius, pretty consistently, not going anywhere. And then when I became an entrepreneur, I'm like, oh no, I love my children. I literally wasted, like 40 years of my life in one 20-mile radius. Ooh, that's coming down good. Wow. That's unbelievable. I should probably be in. I should probably get over. I'd like to get over. Let's get over. Wow. This is incredible. We're getting off this road. Well, it is insane amounts of rain coming down. An insane amount of rain. And, the kind they have in Texas where you can't see in front of you. Literally, it's coming down that hard. I picked a crazy time to take off driving. But I was heading over into studio and I needed to go see somebody. I don't know if I want to stay on this. Yeah, I'm getting off. Let's just get off. That was an intense amount of rain. I don't know if I should have got off here, but I did. That's amazing. So anyway, I spent so many years broke and not going anywhere and stuck in this idea of how am I going to get ahead in life because this is just a mess. And, wow, there's a whole group of cars here. And that's a long backup right there. We're going around them. And then, spending a whole lifetime of trying to figure out, how am I going to make ends meet? And why can't I do better? Everyone says, well, and I have a high self-esteem. And I practice esteemable things. And I spent money working on a little bit. I never had really any money, but I spent some. Now, when I had my first opportunity to buy something, take a risk, man, I did it. I did it. I took that risk so fast. Yeah, I took that risk so fast. I'm like, yeah, I probably should have stayed on that road, but that's okay. No, I wanted out of that rain. I detoured and got out of it. I don't know if it's still raining over there where it was. I didn't want to stay in it. I've got a lot of. So anyway, come on, go. Get out. There you go. See, I let you. I'm like my youngest daughter, Miranda, is a really good driver. And she would, when she, I didn't drive for a lot of years. Let me just explain something. I didn't drive for a lot of years. And then when she got a license and started driving, she'd be like, oh, come on in. Come on. Oh, come on. She was such a nice, sweet driver. And if somebody was trying to get in front of her, she'd be like, oh, come on in. There's plenty of room. And then when she wanted to turn into a lane, she goes, I need in that lane. Can you let me over? And then she would just kind of move. She just kind of move over. like this, the sea would part, the water would part, and there would be a space for her to move. And it was amazing to watch her drive. And it was the seeds that she planted as she was driving, and the way she talked to people that created that driving experience that I wanted to have, because she had it every time she drove. And I'm like, I want to be just like that when I start driving. And when I finally got a license, I said, oh, I'm going to be, and I was, and I have been just like her since I started driving. Yes, just like her. And I have really great driving karma. Now, I've been driving a brand new car, and typically every year I turn it in, I get me a new truck. Not a car, but a truck, typically. And, but the new ones don't stay turned on. Every like 20 minutes, they'll turn off, and I travel with my dogs. So I'm like, no way can I have my trucks turn off when my dogs are in there. Now, when it's cold, no big deal. They snuggle up and they're like, okay. But when it's hot, you can't travel with dogs and have the engine turn off on you. You know, it's not safe. And even though these dogs are Arizona dogs, they're used to being outside 100 plus degree. They love it. They'll go straight right down the reservation. They'll go straight out there in the backyard and lay down in the dirt. It'd be 110 degrees. And they'll love it. Just sleep away. Oh, they love it. But in a car, you don't want to do that. Yeah, you don't want to have them locked in a car. Those things get up to like 140, 160 degrees. Anyway, we're having lots of fun at this business. We are fixing to, now let's take this. Let's do not get on the freeway. Yeah, do not want to get on that freeway. I mean, I probably should have, but that's okay. We've got some time. Okay. I have I got me a root beer yesterday, and the bottle's rolling around in the floorboard. And I saw it, and I'm like, all right, how did that get in the floorboard, number one? And number two, I need to pick it up and throw it away. Well, I didn't. And it's rolling around there. So now I'm going through the airport. Right now is where I'm going. And I'm taking these back roads. Yeah. I'm going to do my hair when I get to the studio. I'm going to do my hair. And, yeah. Here's somebody that broke down, man. Thank you, Lord, for this beautiful van truck that I drive. Thank you so much. 20. All right, we're turning this way. We're not getting on the freeway. They gave me a choice to get on the freeway. We're not getting on that freeway. We're going to turn down this road here. But anyway, we're doing okay, all right? And so one of the, even without an audience, you guys listen. Even if you don't have anybody, you still have to practice your craft. I mean, actors are practicing and practicing and practicing all the time. Baseball players, I mean, you do not become elite without practice. Because when that opportunity comes, you better be ready. You better be ready. Because typically you only get one chance. Now, the first time we did TV was about 7 years ago. And you know, Bitcoin was not what it is today. And it was exciting times. And I can tell you that, wow, I had a huge audience then, radio and TV. And then I decided to get out of the business. And then I got back in, and I got out, and then I got back in. Every time you start over, wow, it's not the same. You lose your audience, your momentum. So if you want to be stay in business. Stay in business. Stay in business. Don't drink Coca-Cola. I'm fixing to drink one though. I'm going to drink a diet Coca-Cola. I know. I know. You don't have to say nothing. I already know. Mmm. There is nothing good about this. Mmm. Mmm. Zero good about that. Tasted good though. So I could go down this street here, and this street would take me a long way, but no, no, no. We're going to keep going. There. Let me see here. Can one of you put me live on TV? And then I'll know how to do it myself again tomorrow. All right. Yeah. Come on. You want to come in? Come in. Uh, I moved over. I let them come in. I have good driving karma. I have real good driving karma. We are not getting on that freeway. I probably should, but we're not going to. I already made the decision to get off of it. The rain quit too. Man, that rain was brutal. I would have made it through the rain. That rain was brutal, man. I'm telling you. All right. Yeah. So you have to practice your craft for sure, okay? You have to practice and you have to work at it all the time. All the time for that one opportunity so you can be ready for it. And then if you're ready for it, then bingo. So we practice all the time for the opportunity of when we get that next chance. And when that happens, we have to be ready. Okay? It's the way it works. Okay. I don't think I want to go down that road there. Okay, here we go. The stop signs are out. Here's a driverless car. Completely driverless. I wish you could see it. It's driving on its own. No drivers. So here on these lights here, and the next light's up too. It's out. The next light's out too. This is 100% driverless. By the way, can you see it? 100% driverless. I'm waiting. When this car goes, I'm going. Wait. There goes the other. So there's the other driverless car. Went through the intersection. Now we're going. Come on. There you go. So the two live cars went. We went, and then the Waymo driverless car paused, and then it went with us. That was crazy. That was insane. So cool. That's going to be a good clip. But I need to make some clips. Yeah, that was insane. That was crazy insane. All right, now we're coming up to a smaller one. But once again, it's four-way. Like, people are stupid. No, that guy did it perfectly. He was in the turn lane. He had the right to turn. I was going, why is he out? Oh, he's in the turn lane. Yeah, people are really, when you give people a chance and they know exactly, everyone knows how a four-way stop works. Everyone who drives knows how a four-way stop works. So once you make it to, if when the lights go out, like, and this is planned, by the way, just so you know it, this is planned. They do this on purpose. The city councils, you can hear the legislatures talk about it. They plan this on purpose for when a storm comes in, they turn the grid off on purpose. This isn't a conspiracy or fantasy. Those of you who don't pay attention to what happens, what goes on, they do it on purpose. All right, now we're back into the lights over here. They totally do these things on purpose. You guys need to understand. I want you to think about this because you're smart. We're in the year 2024. 2024. For decades, we had storms. The grids, nothing ever happened to the light systems ever. For decades, never hearing about the lights going out, but now it happens all the time. Our electric grids are so poor and in such weak shape. They've done this on purpose so that they can come up with a new system. But they plan, if you listen and read what the World Health Organization and what the World Economic Summit, and then there's a dozen companies, we won't get into all of that now, but there's about a dozen companies that's aligned with that. And these are unelected bureaucrats who are determining what's going to happen to the world. They are making the decisions about what they want to happen to the world. Not elected officials, not you. But once again, too, guys, you know, you have we elect officials who don't do anything but what they want to do. And I would say that a good number of politicians are real creeps. From alcoholics to drug addicts to wife beaters to perverts. Really, really strange people. Really strange people. I mean, did you see the way Kamala Harris's husband came out on stage the other day? He had a T-shirt. Now he was wearing pants, decent pants, with a T-shirt and a blazer. I like to dress that way. I'm dressed that way now. And you know, he lifted his arms up and his belly was sticking out, but he had another shirt under it, so you couldn't really see his belly. But that's how he dressed, and his wife is running for president. Like no class. Now his son was dressed to the T's in a suit, but the girl, wow. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. Republicans are too coward to say anything about anybody. I mean, seriously, you know, they would rather lose than fight. And fighting war is not pretty. It's dirty. It's vicious. It's violent. You can't run a country without having those things happen. And if you think that all of this is peaceful, then you're stupid. We're going through a part of town that I like very much in this one particular city I'm in. And yeah, it's an older part of a very wealthy section of town. Used to be where all the millionaires had houses. And a lot of them still do, but they're run down. Like these are houses that are worth the property. There's nothing you can get over here under $1 million. Nothing. And there's thousands of houses. Nothing you can get under $1 million. But I can tell you this, that they're in bad shape, most of them. You know, so anybody that buys it is buying something that they have, you know, either tear down or put major money into the remodel. We put a roof on a house, on a guy's house over here, million two, and but because he was retired and the amount of money he had, the credit line, you know, he had good credit, but his income wasn't high enough to take any equity out of the house. And at the time, I didn't know anything about velocity banking. I didn't know about living on credit. I didn't know anything about that stuff at all, you know. And of course, even though I was $1 million seller, I did sell that job too at full price. The anyway, it was amazing, you know, how the banks and the financial institutions they package things for them, not for us. It's all about, you know, a distraction. The interest rate doesn't even matter. They could charge you up to 30%. If you know how to manage the principal and the account where you're putting your money, and then you're in charge of your banking steps, ABC, then even if it's 30%, you're going to wind up paying 2 or 3 or 4% max by borrowing back your own money, by being in charge of your own banking system. That's the way it works. Thanks, guys. Faith or Ricky, one of you two put me live. Thank you. So anyway, hello, Texas. Don't turn that dial. This is the Fly Mackey Show. I'm your host, Fly Mackey. You can call me David, too. I like that name. Amber calls me Dick. And I say that all with love and everything. Lots of gratitude for everyone in my life. I have not been grateful enough. That's for sure. So I reached out to everybody today and said, I'm grateful for you. People don't hear that enough. And I can be a tough guy to work for sure. But I can't stand incompetence. That's one thing that just drives me insane is incompetence. Yeah. Well, I'm on a anyway, thank you, Ricky, or thank you, Faith. One of the two got me live on television here in Corpus Christi, Texas. Beaumont, Texas. College Station, Texas. Houston, Texas. And Lake Charles, Louisiana. Yeah, the lights are working on this side of town. So, yeah, it's rush hour. It's crazy. I've been driving for over an hour to get to a studio, and I'm not even halfway there yet. And normally, when I go to this one studio, it takes about an hour to get to. Even in rush hour, it's about an hour. With no traffic, it's like 38 minutes. But during rush hour, it's a little over an hour. I'm about halfway there, and I've been gone for 59 minutes. Incredible. Let's have a drink of some soda. Don't drink soda. It's not good for you. I know you're not listening. Why would you listen to somebody when they're doing it? One real key is don't listen to somebody who tells you to do something and they're doing it. Okay, so enjoy your soda. I'm enjoying it right now. So thank you for letting me into your homes. Hold on one second. Hold on. Come on, pop back on. Come on. There we go. There we are. Thank you. Okay, so what I did is, and you should not do this when you're streaming, and is I answered a message on the device that I'm using to broadcast and stream. And I wish you could see all this. I've got 3 different monitors right here, and 2 monitors, 1 streaming device, which is my phone. And I'm broadcasting live into your house there in Corpus Christi, Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Texas, Lake Charles, Louisiana, from my cell phone. And from here, it goes to our servers at a data center. And then from the servers, it goes to the servers at the station. And then from there, it goes to the towers and then out into your homes. That's the way it works. Now, here, we've always had servers inside our offices. Now our servers are in a different location. I have them in a data center, but that's going to change. Okay. But all that's going to change. Anyway, I'm driving down the highway of life. I'm headed to a studio. The dogs are at the house. So getting back to what I was talking about, you have to be comfortable. Well, let me talk a little bit about the banking, and then I'll get back to. And by the way, I've got 4 hours. So when I get to studio, I may cut off, and then I may just stay on. I don't know. But I do a show from 10 p.m. to midnight Central Standard Time, and that's going to change, I believe, and I'm going to do different hours. But real excited, really, really, really excited about, doing some shows. And I've got one guy does a AI Patty, and his girlfriend's a AI girlfriend, but all he does is talk about. I know, sounds stupid, right? But all he does is talk about artificial intelligence. It's really cool stuff, and that's he. And I'm going to give him some TV time, and it's not going to be great professional stuff. It's going to be just him sitting in front of his computer, doing these, asking questions and stuff to AI Patty about artificial intelligence. It's pretty cool stuff, but it's not high-tech TV. And it's not like the Porter Brothers in the morning. It's not like Jack McCall or Dustin Planthold or Jane King. It's going to be, but it's going to be fun, kind of fun to watch. And then I think Faith is going to do a meme show. I told her too. She's got these anyway. So we'll see what that looks like. She's going to be popular no matter what because she got big titties, and if I had, I got a big belly, but I ain't got big boobies. If I had big boobies, man, I'd be popular. I'm telling you right now. Even at 62, if I had some big boobies, I'd be popular. We're not mad at them. All you ladies out there who have big boobies, congratulations. We were going over the analytics. Now, you guys, before you get all woke on me and all craziness, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. But anyway, the 42% of our audience are women. Thank you. And if you're joining us for the first time, you can go hit that link down there, go to smartmoneyculture.tv/credit and fill out that form. Listen, when you learn, it is terrifying. And I want to talk to the women. I started to talk to you last night and I went sideways. But I want to talk to you because, listen, when you're the one who runs the household, hopefully you have a husband. But if you don't, and you're running the household on your own, 100% learn how to become your own banker. I was a single parent. When somebody told me I couldn't do something, what's the first thing we do as single parents when we're told Oh, no, you can't do that. Go ahead. I'll give you a second to think of that one. There's a big old boy I just seen walk by. I hadn't seen him in years. Walking down the road. Looked good, too. Well, he wasn't just walking down the road. He was walking on the sidewalk in a very nice part of town. He was walking down the sidewalk. Looked great, too. Big, tall fella. Looked great. Old guy like me. I am losing weight, though. Watch out. I am losing weight. I'm a big old fat pig. Anyway, let's get back to you women. And I just asked you, what do you do out there when somebody tells you, especially single parents, but I'm talking to the women right now. When somebody says you can't do that, or yeah, you can't do it, what's the first thing that goes to your mind? Oh, well, let me figure out how I can. You don't take offense to it like, oh, they said I can't do it. You work at the solution to find out how you can do it. Because you have to do those things. That's what you have to do. You have to be a solution-oriented person. You have to figure it out. I don't like this seatbelt on my. There we go. That didn't take too long. A little bit of a detour. So I'm talking to you ladies right now who may or may not have a husband, who may or may not be in business, but this is a business channel. So the good chance is that you are, or somebody in your household is in business. And you're always having to juggle. You know how it is? Because it's it's natural. It's everyone does it. Everyone goes through it. It is what it is, what it is, what it is. So you want to make things easier for yourself? Learn how to become your own banker. We just learned about this stuff too. We're new at it. But what we are good at is getting credit, which is where you should start. If you don't have the money, then go get the money. Well, I'm trying to get a loan. I'd love to borrow the money. I've asked my friends and family and the banks. If you're willing to ask somebody like your friends and family, then why not do it yourself? Why don't you go learn how to apply yourself? Because the banks, they look for people who have the right data points. Oh shit. They look for people who have the right data points, not how long you've been in business. That counts. If you've been in business for a long time, okay, that counts. If you have revenue coming through, that counts. If you have a great credit score, that counts. If you have money in the bank, that counts. If you already have personal credit, that counts. I was talking to a couple the other day they didn't realize that they could use their personal credit cards for business. If you have a credit card and it's somebody else's money and it has a Visa MasterCard, I wouldn't necessarily use American Express. Although they are a really good preferred credit card, and I got 2 of them in my pocket, I would not use those until you get good at velocity banking. Okay? Thank you guys for getting me live on TV. So, I would wait. Let's have some Coca-Cola. I love this stuff. I don't drink a lot of it anymore. Ooh, I sure like it. It's not any good for you. I got a four-wheeler in front of me. He doesn't look old enough to be driving a car, but I don't think there's an age limit on driving that four-wheeler that he's on. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, who cares? So, but anyway, the financial institutions look for certain data points. The easiest way of saying when you know how to fill out those applications and you know how to set yourself up, then anybody can get credit. And the reason I say that is because 63% of America, those numbers just came out a couple of days ago, 63% of America has a credit score over 700. Now, that dropped down to 58% during COVID, and people are just now starting to pull themselves out of that stuff. I mean, it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. And when but let me requalify that. There was about the actual percentage of people with high credit were in the 70 percentile. Okay. And then this last 4 years, especially during COVID, like COVID really laid a whooping on a lot of folks. And then a lot of folks now are starting to, and it took a couple of 2 or 3 years. This president and this economy has done nothing for anybody who is trying to get ahead. So, Karl Marx wrote the best way to get people is by while you're committing the crimes, while you're actively committing the crimes, point your finger at the other folks and say they're the ones doing it. And that's what this president and the vice president, these guys should be locked up. And, half of the senators and half of congressional congressmen and women should be locked up. They should go to prison. Matter of fact, there's a whole bunch of them who right now they're terrified. They've even said so. They're nervous that Trump's going to put them in prison when he goes. There's no way he's going to lose. He didn't lose the last election. Anyway, I'm getting sideways here. But he didn't lose the last election. You'd have to be a complete moron. And I'm saying this to anybody who's listening. You'd have to be a complete moron to even think that Joe Biden got 81 million votes. When they stopped the counting, he was on his way to a landslide, Trump was, when they stopped the voting in several states. And then all of a sudden, they came up with truckloads of ballots with only Biden's name on it. And us American people, we let it happen. We let it happen. We let them do it to us. And nobody stood up for Trump. Nobody. The Republicans, they had big mouths and we're not committing violence and we're not gonna go grab those ballots and find out why every single ballot had Joe Biden's name on it. No. We're not going to go confiscate that stuff. Yeah. And while they were putting people in jail who were objecting, because there were people who objected, they put them in jail. We let them because we were straight up cowards. And I'm putting myself in that. There's nobody was marching the streets. Nobody was going anywhere. They were cowards. All of us. all you guys out there who are big time Republican mouths, you're all cowards, every one of you. And I'm putting myself in that position because we let them do that to us. Yeah. Anyway, I included. So, yeah. Now let's get back to the credit thing. When you're in charge of your own economy, which is where we're getting to be now, me and my network here, we're starting to be in charge of our own economy, and you have to be used to being in debt. Like, you have to be comfortable with being in debt. People don't like being in debt. It makes them nervous. And people even argue about it. There was a really nice couple I listened to today talking about banking and, how they took their home and became their own banker. Really smart. I may play some of their stuff on. And they talked about how the husband said, we're doing this. But the wife didn't buy into it in the beginning. So he was trying to do it. She wasn't really on board with it. And as he started being a little successful at doing the velocity banking and becoming his own banker, then the wife said, well, we either have to, go down with the ship together, or we're gonna get a divorce. That was, and she was joking. She was not joking, but she was smiling about it. But there was a third option that she didn't say in that, which was we could either be successful together, like I'm going to jump on board and let's make this thing happen. Let's be successful at it, or we're going to go down together. The third option is, divorce. Anyway, they had a good attitude about it, and but let me say this: she finally bought into it, and now they're yeah, all that interest that they were going to pay, all that interest, some $700,000-800,000 that they were going to pay in interest, goes away. They're still paying interest. You still pay interest. Where am I at? Oh yeah, I still got a ways to go. They're still paying interest, but the amount of interest that you pay to the banks and the financial institutions go down dramatically. I mean, dramatically. 90 to 97%, 90 to 97% of the interest goes away when you learn how to become your own banker. And some of it, and there's different areas of it too, like using your credit, lines of credit, HELOC, your insurance policy, your whole life insurance, learning infinite banking strategies. And once you learn this stuff, your house becomes your bank, or your credit card becomes your bank, or your insurance policy becomes your bank. I used to think for years, of course, I didn't know any better because I didn't have any money. But anytime somebody talk about it, I go, that's a scam. I didn't believe it either. I drink the Kool-Aid now because I know how it works. And I've helped guide, let's just say a few of you through this. One of our clients one of our customers that we helped out, somewhere in the neighborhood of a little over $700,000 that they're going to save in interest payments by using the velocity banking strategies. And they haven't even got into the infinite banking yet. Stop. I got two guys to the side of me. The guy in the truck, he was going to run this line. But why? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Hold on a second. We're almost to studio. So I don't have a house. I'm in between houses right now. I live on the reservation at my grandma's house with my brothers, a couple of my brothers. And, but I'm looking for a house to buy creative financing. We're going to buy creative financing. And then we're going to use the velocity banking strategy on that piece of property. Actually, there's 3 pieces of property I'm going to make an offer on. And we're going to use somebody else's money to buy it. I got a whole list of people who got a shitload of money, and they're going to help me buy it. They are going to buy it, and I'm going to do the deal, and then I'm going to use my cash revenue, my revenue from the business, to pay for it, and to pay them off. That's how that's going to work, and I'm excited about it. I left the dogs at home. I miss traveling with them. I get addicted to traveling with the animals. I mean, I have to travel with them. And there we are. I'm losing this right here. This right here, I'm losing. Anyway, so we're gonna take a break here for a little bit, and I don't know if I can share here. Let me try it here. Oh wow. I am going to let me see if I can add. I want to add a screen here. Okay, hold on. Oh. Add scene. Not sure what that's all about. Oh, wow. Interesting. Let's see what that looks like right there. Thank you guys. I'm going to try to add. Add scene. Oh, gotcha. It's a little different using a phone than it is. You guys hang in there with me. Let's take a commercial break for about 2 minutes, and I'll be right back. go nowhere. Be right back. And here we are. Ding.